Fix my camera. Bitcoin getting a small little bounce. Make sure my volume. Make sure my volume is good. We good. So I'm sure some people will start pouring in a minute. Bitcoin has followed our path. Bitcoin has followed our path that we talked about over the past couple days. Going into Friday, we had that huge dump on Thursday, and then going into Friday, as the stock market started to go up, Bitcoin started to make these lower or these higher lows on a smaller time frame. And we talked about this over in the Telegram. We talked about breaking back above this 85.4K level, looking for a retest. And then, we got that perfect candle, perfect bounce off of our 85.4K level. And then we got right to our 88K level and rejected hard. We rejected very hard. So it followed it to a T. Let me see if we had that in the Telegram. If you're not in the Telegram, make sure you come over to the Telegram. I drop real-time news, charts, analysis, trade setups, everything like that. So where did I put that? So I said flip this 85K back to support. I'll look to go back to 88. That's a trade idea I'm looking at, really like 85.4K. So that actually happened. It played out. Like I said, we got to 88K. Perfectly hit 88K, a little over 88K. And then we got rejected. Right now we're sitting a little under 87,000, sitting at 86,791. So we got Mark Dutch in the building. Mark, what's up, man? What's up, man? Make sure you share this out. Let me make sure I shared it out to everybody. People usually pour in after a few minutes after I start sharing everything out. Mark Dutch, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping by, man. What you thinking about Bitcoin? Before we even get started, what you thinking about Bitcoin, man? You got a pretty good pulse on the market. What you thinking about Bitcoin? A lot of creators are coming back and saying we're going back to all-time highs, man. I think I seen Crypto Ran or Crypto Banter talking about we were going back to all-time highs, 2021 style reversal pump back to all-time highs, past all-time highs. A couple other people are still mega bullish. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Looks like we're going to close another weekly below that 50-week moving average, which has historically, let's go to the weekly. Let's turn our moving average on, which has historically signaled that the bull run is over. So this yellow line here is our 50-week moving average. So it's coming in around 103. Around 103. So we lost that. So we have closed one, and this will be our second week that we have closed below this 50-week moving average. So in the past, we've been talking about this. In the past, this was 2020. We got 2 closes, and we got that retest, and then, we really started to go down. So following what we did in the past, last bear market or last cycle, we got that 1 close below it here, this candle here, this huge candle. I mean, we started at 104. Closed it at 94, and then we opened this one at 94, and then we closed this one right around this $87,000 level. Well, we're about to close it in 18 minutes, so the weekly close will be somewhere under this 50-week moving average. So this is what we're looking at, 75,000 comps. I'm leaning 65% bearish versus 35% bullish. So yeah, that's about where I'm at, Mark. To be completely honest with you, that's about where I'm at, because I don't never want to just be concrete in one direction. I don't want to just be concrete in one idea. So I'll probably say I'm about 65 to 75% bearish, and then the rest bullish when it comes to the market. So I mean, I'm just going to continue to watch. We're going to continue to trade. We talked about this trade. It happened overnight. We talked about going from 85,000 to 85.4K going to this $88,000 level. It played out to a T, but it played out on a Saturday. It played out on a late Saturday going into early Sunday. So I really don't trade during those times. Let's actually go to the hourly so we can see what we were talking about. So I missed it, and I'm kind of upset that I missed it. We already had everything drawn out. We had our higher lows, higher low, higher low, and I was hoping it played out on Friday, but it didn't play out. We had our nice little drawdown on Saturday, and then Saturday night we started to pump. Got our pump over that 85.4, got our retest, TP1, TP2, and ultimately where we had our X at, which was TP3 at 88K, which we did that perfectly. So if you took that trade, some people in my community probably took that trade. I put it in the Telegram. So congratulations. If you're watching this a little bit later and you saw the trade, you took the trade. Hopefully you made a little bit of money. Go 8463 says 75 come. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. Go 8463. That's what I'm looking for exactly. So I'm looking for something around that 75. Let me go to which chart am I looking at? I'm looking at something like that. I'm looking at between 70 and 75. So I got my 70K area here. We lose that, then it's gonna probably get a lot worse. We got our big scary bear here, but I'm looking at that same level. I'm looking at that same level, which is coming around our previous all-time high. And also, this was the point that the bull run started back up after our tariff. Was this the tariff? No, this is, here we go. After our tariff liberation happened, we came down perfectly on our line, perfectly at the 50-week moving average, and we got that bounce. So I'm looking at that area too, that $70,000 to $75,000 area, as a major area of support if we come down there. But I also look at it as an area, a magnet. I think we're gonna come back down there. So do we go back up to the 50-week moving average, get rejected from there, and then come back down, or do we go to that 70 to 75K area first, and then we get some sort of a bounce? That's what I'll be looking at. And I've been just preaching, after we lost that we lost the 50 week, and then we started to lose key levels. I just been starting to preach DCA in psychology, because I've been telling people, a lot of creators have been bullish at points where you're not really like, why are you so bullish? We haven't reclaimed key levels. Why are you so bullish? I understand you got to get clicks. I'm not really a clickbait YouTube content creator type person. Like, I want people to watch. Of course, I would love if millions of people watch my channel, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100,000 with you, and I'm gonna keep it real. And if I don't think it's bearish, if I don't think it's bullish, I'm not gonna come and say it's bullish or have some crazy thumbnail, some crazy title, some crazy permabull title just to get some clicks. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell you what I think from my point of view, from my perspective, and I think that's why people appreciate my analysis. I'm not the best chart person. I keep it basic. I keep it simple. I do what works for me, which has worked for me over the past, I say, especially in trading over the past. Started to really trade on hone my skills in like 2022. So over the past 3 years, this has been working for me. I came up with some certain strategies. My R3 strategy, my reclaim, retest, react strategies, which what I coined the R3 strategy. That's been working. I know my market conditions. I know when to trade for my market conditions. I know when to not trade when it comes to psychology. So it's really personal when it comes to like trading, and crypto is very, very, it plays with you. I know you guys know, I know Mark knows. Wick's wife, what's up, FD? You don't have to find 89 on there no more. So what's up, FD? I'm good. How you doing? Appreciate you for stopping by. We just talking about the market, waiting for the weekly close. We got about 13 more minutes, so I want to come try to make it here every week. For the weekly close / weekly open. We got up to our 88K level, like I was saying. So we'll continue to watch and see if Bitcoin does come back, because we do have a CME gap. Well, okay, CME open. So we had a CME gap at 84. I think it was like 84,000 and 84.5K. So we'll see if we come back down there and to touch that. But it's looking okay. It's looking okay for what it's worth. Bitcoin, crypto has been bleeding heavy over the past few weeks, so it's inevitable that we get some sort of a pump. I think we're going towards Michael Saylor's break-even level. Everybody panic, pump from there. Everyone gets confident again, followed by a massive dump. So where's his level at, Mark? Where's his level? I think it's around 70 something, right? If I'm not mistaken. I know he was buying, so it's bringing his average cost up, maybe. Not sure how it's going, but I think it might be around that 70. You can tell me where his break-even level is, Mark. That'll be helpful, and then we can look at it on the chart, and then we can go from there. But for the most part, we had a small little bounce. Let's see what Ethereum doing. Ethereum's got back above that $2,800 level. Let me turn this off. Got back above our $2,800 level. XRP got back above $2, around 65K. It might be. You know what? Let's go ask Grunk. Grunk might know. I was doing some before I started the stream, I was doing some trending cryptocurrencies over the past 6 hours. This is what I usually do, man. Grok, but that's how you pronounce it. This is usually pretty accurate when it comes to like crypto trends, real-time data, real-time analysis. I usually use Grok for that. And it's been really helpful, man. I've been incorporating AI a lot in all my businesses, all my daily life, man. This new Gemini, that Google Gemini, I just made a whole app. I'm gonna drop a whole app, man. Like, it has nothing to do with crypto, but I just coded a whole app. I'm working on it right now. I think I'm gonna release it next year. So let's see. What is Michael Saylor's Bitcoin break even purchase price? So let's see if they give us an answer. Glock with the R, Glock with the R, Grok. Okay, yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, you know Glock. Yeah, okay. I never even thought of that. Glock with an R without the R. Grok with the R. Take the L out, put the R. I'm kind of slow right now. Okay, I got it. So Grok. Okay, cool. So checking Michael Saylor's price. So let's see what it says. Um, thinking. So Michael Saylor's break even price. Blah blah blah. Can you guys see that? Let me see. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So his break even is at right where we were talking about. So I guess this might be accurate. So it says 74,433. Average price, purchase price, break even is 74,433. This average account, August 2020, blah 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 blah. So our area. So I think that's our area. That's what we were talking about. That 70 to 70,000, $70 to $75,000 area, that we was talking about, will be an area that we will be looking at. So I'll double check that, but I mean that sounds about right. I think that sounds about right because I think somebody was talking about it, like maybe like Scott Melker or somebody was talking about it, and I think that was what they were saying. I wasn't really like intently listening, but I think I heard somewhere around 70 to 75K. So we'll watch that area. That's a very important area, I think. Just psychologically, like you said, if that's Michael Saylor's break even point. Altcoins right now, I'm really not too focused on altcoins, but if Bitcoin bounces, we're going to try to take advantage of some of these altcoin bounces. We got, like I said, XRP back above $2. So I was looking at this. This looks like something that I might want to get into a trade with. And just really like the way I'm trading this market right now is, of course, the overall trend is down. The overall trend is bearish. So I'm going to be more inclined to hold shorts longer. But as we reclaim and on smaller time frames, I'll be inclined to take some day trades or some scalps. So if XRP, what I'm looking at for XRP, this $2 psychological level here, I'll be looking to hold this. So we did come back down, swing failure pattern below, back to 181, and this is on the weekly, but we reclaimed. So if Bitcoin can hold that 85, we'll say that $85,000 area, if it gets back above 88, and starts to move back towards that $90,000 to $93,000 area, I'll be looking at XRP to do something like that. So I'm just looking at altcoins as a proxy trade for Bitcoin. As Bitcoin starts to reclaim some key levels above us, not saying that the bull market's back on, not saying that the party's back on, the party's starting back up, but as Bitcoin goes up and maybe makes a 2, 3, 4, 5%, gain, I'll be looking at altcoins to, like I said, potentially make 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe double. Some of them have been lagging. But like I said, XRP is looking like it wants to bounce here if Bitcoin can stay strong. If Bitcoin just starts to lose this $85,000 area and we start going back towards that $80,000 area, then I might just look for a short. And this short, look at this gap. Look at this fair value gap here. If we lose this, we're going straight down, probably to about $1.30. And then I was talking about this on my last live stream. I was talking about where we saw the those liquidations in October. We saw it gave us a precursor as to where these coins could go. So a lot of these coins, you look at them, I think Solana already took out its October liquidation low, but some of these coins like XRP went all the way to $1.99. So that would be an area that I would look for in a bear market. I feel like this is a precursor. This was giving us like I can't remember what the word, premonition of where these coins could go in a bear market. So we lose this, I think we could probably come down, of course, to this $1.34. We have a stop at about, what's this, probably 150, 160, yeah, and then probably coming back down to this 135, but I'll ultimately be watching this dollar level. Anything under $1 for XRP, I think, is a gift. And this is why I got the cool kid right here waiting down here. If we do get below that dollar, I think that's a gift. That's the cool zone that we'll be accumulating heavy. So I'm not really accumulating too many altcoins. Solana, XRP, I'll buy a little bit of Solana if we get below 100. I think it was 100. If we lose this 125, I'll be looking for something like this to go back down towards that $100 level. And our cool zone will be anything $100 or below. Anything under in this area here, I will be accumulating, a little bit heavier for Solana. So really it's just Solana, XRP. And I just think those are long-term bets, long-term mind frame when it comes to those. I think they're going to stand the test of times. XRP's been out since like 2014. I don't think it's going nowhere. I just don't want to have 100% of all my money in Bitcoin. I'm starting to diversify a tad bit, not a whole lot, but I am starting to diversify just a tad bit. So if I got 90% Bitcoin, 95% Bitcoin, I'll, spread it out. I'm going to buy some stocks too. And I'm starting to look more toward retirement, things like that. I mean, I ain't old, but I'm starting to think of different things. I know Bitcoin, everybody says Bitcoin is your retirement, Bitcoin is your savings, and I agree. I definitely agree. But, as I get a little bit older and a little bit more savvy in investing, I want to be a little bit diversified, just a little bit. And as I get a little bit, go a little bit longer, maybe I'll get a lot more diversified, but I'm still really, really heavy when it comes to Bitcoin. And anything under, like I said, we talked about that 70 to 75K area. Anything under 70K to me is a gift. So Mark, I think, okay, put it on your chart. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we'll 74,433. So let's put that on the chart. That's a good idea. Mark, so which I'm gonna put it on this one. I don't have too many drawings on this one. We can just erase. This is gonna be the Michael Saylor chart. Let's delete some of this stuff over here. So we'll put that 74, what was it? 74,433. And we'll put that as Michael Saylor's liquid, break even, 74. We'll say, we'll put it here, somewhere around here, 74. Let's take this line here. Matter of fact, we could just do this. Where's my, no, I got some saved up here somewhere. Yep, you could do that. So we'll just put it right here. And then we'll type, we'll say Michael Saylor break even. Michael, is it an AEL or EAL? Probably AEL. Saylor BE price. So this is Michael Saylor's BE price right here around 74.4. We'll keep this on the chart and we'll lock that. We'll make sure that doesn't move. So we'll keep that on the chart. That's an area that we're going to continue to talk about as we go along down the bear market. So Michael Saylor's average buy or break even. Okay, yeah, we got it. So what else am I looking at? I'm looking at AVAX. A lot of people have been talking about AVAX. AVAX is looking not looking too good. We lost this area, this $15 to $16 area. I think the next, if you're looking to buy some Bitcoin or buy some AVAX rather, it'll be a next. Like here we go again. We have this area here, which was our October liquidation event, which is telling us or giving us a precursor around $8.50, and which is correlating with what? If we go back, it's already had this line, already had this drawn out. Look at this. Perfect confluence. This was in September of 2023, bottom of the bear market, and this is when we started to take off. So this is the bottom of the bear market. We'll be looking for AVAX to come back down here, which is not too far away. It's really not that far away. How much percent is it away from here? So from this low to that's only another 30% for AVAX if you want to accumulate AVAX. So I know a lot of people like AVAX. I know a lot of people want to start accumulating some of these altcoins. I'm not really accumulating, like I said, too many altcoins, just XRP, Solana, and then we'll continue to go from there. So we are trying to watch this weekly close. We also want to talk about some stocks. We'll look at the futures. We're not going to stay too long. It's 6:58 Eastern time. So we got 2 minutes until the weekly close. So Bitcoin right now is 86,787. We got rejected, like I said, nice little double top at this 88K level, well below our 50-week moving average. And this is 2 weeks in a row. And like I said, 2 weeks in a row has solidified a bear market in the past. So possibly, we are, the casket has closed for the bull market for now. But I also made a video. I think I made a short earlier today. So if you after this, go watch some of my shorts. I think it was my last short where I was talking about don't try to time the bear market. All set. What's up? All set? Is this a good time to get in on a position? So the position, hold on, I'm gonna come back to that. But I was talking about, before I get to this, all set, I was talking about what was I talking about? Dang, lost my train of thought. Okay, I'll remember in a minute. Is this a good time to get in a position? A Bitcoin position? So I missed the trade. And I didn't miss it because I wasn't paying attention. I missed it because I don't trade on like Saturdays and Saturday nights and Sundays. So we did this like overnight. So we had this all drawn out in the Telegram. We were waiting. We had one touch here. No, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on Friday. We were trying to wait. We were trying to get this breakout on Friday. It didn't happen. Got rejected. Then on Saturday, we started to come up. And then Saturday overnight, we started to get a pump. And then we got that perfect retest at our line at 85.4. And then we took off. So this was the trade I was looking for. Our reclaim, retest, react. But I just don't trade on these. I don't trade on Saturday, especially Saturday night going into Sunday. So if this would have happened now, I would have took this trade. So what I'm doing right now is looking at the opposite of what I looked at when we were going up, looking at a couple key levels. First and foremost, I would love to see another retest on a high time frame. That's the 15 that I'm looking at. I would love to see a retest possibly. Let's go to the 4-hour, see if we can get a little bit more information. Possibly coming back down to this 84 or this 85.5K level. So this is on the 4-hour time frame. I would love to see something like this. And this is what I would be looking at. So 2 scenarios all set that I'm personally looking at, just from a simple TA perspective. We came up here. I would look for something, possibly, a bounce here, retest this area here for our, for a retest on the 4-hour. We really didn't retest on that 4-hour. I would love to see us come up here and then possibly double top up here, then roll over. So I would take this trade. This is the trade I would take. I want to see something, a bounce back at that 85.4K level, or if we come up and flip this 88. Now, if we flip this 88, people are going to start to get very excited. I feel like a lot of people are going to open longs from 88 to like 100. That's where I think a lot of people are waiting for. A lot of people are waiting for this 88K level to be breached. So I wouldn't front run us getting back above this $88,000 level, but I would take it. I would have to see possibly coming up, maybe coming back down, swing failure pattern, below that $88,000 level, reclaiming it, retesting it, and then going up possibly back to our, we have a stop at like 94, but ultimately this $100,000 level. That's what I would be looking at for Bitcoin. But I got to see what the market does next week. I got to also see what's going on when it comes to economic data and economic news. Starting to get a lot of economic news coming back in since the shutdown is over. Job data they didn't release for October probably was that bad. So this goes back with my thesis talking about bad news might start becoming bad news very soon. I was saying that in like August and September. So if bad news really starts to become bad news going into like, December, January, February, I think that'll be catalyst for us to continue down. And then, like I said, if you've been watching me, I think, May, around April, May, June, sometime in that area, we probably start either forming a bottom or starting to pump hard again, because I think that's when we get Jerome Powell stepping down, or not stepping down, but his term is over, and we get another person coming in, the Fed chairman. That's probably, Trump's going to pick somebody who's going to want to cut rates, who's going to want to stimulate the economy, stimulate the markets, all type of, stealth QE, whatever. I think that's going to come. And I think they have to pick. They got to pick between letting the economy just go to hell, you know what I mean? Or they got to just pump it and let inflation run rampant. I don't think it's any in between. I think they may have a little bit more further to kick the can down the road, but I think they got to make a decision soon. We're either going to have a huge recession, or they're going to step in and we're going to just, pump these markets, pump assets again, and everything is going to start going to the moon. So the timeline, I hate to put a time limit on things because I've been wrong a lot. Well, not a lot. I haven't been wrong a lot. Let's take that back. I've been wrong in the past, especially going into 2023. I remember 2022 when we had that bear market, and then I was super bearish going into 2023. Super bearish. And we started to get some pumps. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. We started to get some pumps. So I kind of missed a lot of bottoms in some of these coins. I mean, they didn't really pop like that anyway. Some did. We didn't really have altcoin season like we wanted, but I missed a lot of more money that I could have had because I was just super bearish. I was kind of letting my emotions take over. Like, oh, we're going to go into a recession. We're going to have maybe a depression, this, that, and that didn't happen. You know what I mean? So I don't want to go down that road again. I want to kind of be even keel. I want to be a cool kid. You know what I mean? That's why we call ourselves the cool kids. We don't get too up. We don't get too down. We just let the market tell us what it wants to do, and when we just react or act accordingly. And then, like I said, I'm just trying to see if how far we can go down. I'm not trying to time a bottom, but as we go down and if we really start to break some key levels below us, then I'll go a little bit heavier. I think Piper has a great DCA plan. So Piper has one that he has for his premier or his paid group. on Discord. I think it's like $5, and it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm really just seeing how we react around these two levels. My higher convicted trade would be breaching 88 or getting back above 88 and just riding it, until we possibly can go back up to 100,000. I think 100,000 is the line in the sand. If we can get back above 100,000, everybody's coming back out the woodworks. All your crypto influencers and KOLs are coming back. They right now they're looking for other ways to to be on YouTube. I know some fitness influencers. There's some people selling sneakers and things like that. So get back above 100,000, and I think everybody will start coming back. The party gets started, and then we'll see what happens. But 88,000. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at key levels to the upside to breach or to break above, and then I'll look for some longs. But I'm still kind of short bias. I hope we retest the monthly low. This is a good time to get in a position. Fire Dutchy. I hope we retest the monthly low. What's the monthly low? Like 80? I think the 80. Right, around 80,000. Establish real support. But you know what? That would be something. Even if we come down, or even if we came down. Let's go to a different chart. Let's go to this one. If we came down here, like I kind of don't like the direction. We had this huge move down. Now it's kind of like a bear flag. Not really too hell bent on patterns right now, but look at this huge move. And let's take it old school. This is how they teach you when when they don't really. I haven't did one of these in a minute. Let's see. So this is coming down to 75,000, 74K. So this is looking like a bear flag. Be careful here. Be very, very careful here, man. So this is a very important level. I feel like we need to try to get back above that 88 and flip that. If not, we're probably going to our level around 70 to 75K. But our monthly low, another thing that I would be looking for offset is something like you said, coming back down, retesting that monthly low, possibly for a double bottom here. W pattern, and then breaking that neckline, and then going back up, like I said, to 95 to 100,000. So I am watching something like that. But who cares? We just keep trading. Yeah, I've been trying to trade. This is when I really learned how to really trade during the bear market. That's when I really honed my skills. My computer about to die. Give me a second. So yeah, we really learned how to trade in the bear market of 2022, and it. Take your money, pay yourself. So that's what I really liked about the bear market of 2022. But yeah, I like that. I actually like this trade idea. What happened to my drawings? Oh, here we go. So yeah, that would be another one. That's another one that I would be watching for, that double bottom at the weekly low, at the weekly low, or the monthly low rather. And that monthly low is coming in about 85.5. Okay, so I would love that. That would just might be a nice little double bottom to try to break that neckline around 88K, and then of course I would be watching for that 95 to $100,000 level. I think that would be an easier trade than where we are now. And then the scalps, when it comes to scalps, I'm really trying to scalp altcoins, but it's just based on what Bitcoin is going to do. Let's go down the risk curve a little bit as to what I've been looking at. So I looked at Grunk earlier, and it gave me a list of coins that were trending. Zcash, of course, that's trending. HBAR was trending. SPX 6900. So this is what I do. I usually come over here, get the top 10, 20, and then I'll go over there and see what, see if I see any type of trades that I could take. And I said absolute 24 hour. Nope. So this one I said, I usually go and I say which ones have had the most volatility or volume in the last hour. Did I do? So this is the 24-hour change. Well, we could type it in, but I usually go over on, like I said, I go over on Grok, and then it gives me some nice data, and then I go, to the chart that it gives me, and try to find some trades. So Zcash, let's look at Zcash. Zcash has been. A lot of people say this has been manipulated price action. I don't know. I'm not really a super. I'll trade anything, to be completely honest with you, but I'm not really super hell bent, or I'm super convicted on Zcash. I know it's privacy in this. I haven't did my due diligence, my research. A lot of people are talking about holding it long term now. A lot of people are talking about they're putting it in their portfolio. I'm not convinced that. I feel like at any point they could just be like, all right, privacy coins are privacy coins are illegal, And then what? This will probably just dump. Or it might not dump. Like, I don't know. But I like this uptrend. Like, look at this. This is a beautiful, beautiful uptrend that's just been riding this line. Like, this has been easy. This has been an easy trade. Like, a lot of people say trend lines don't work. Trend lines don't work. Like, they don't until they do. Especially on a higher time frame, and you just catch one of these perfect, look at this. Just perfect bounces off this trend line. Perfect bounces. Well, it didn't all the way down, but perfect bounces off this trend line. So if you mean, I like Zcash. I like the Zcash price action. I will say that when it comes to Zcash. So that is something that's on my radar to trade. We are looking at that. I thought I saw Aster too on the list. Aster came to a little bit of resistance at about $1.34, got rejected. Still holding on a 4 hour. So it did start to form. A lot of these coins did start to form some sort of an uptrend on the hourly. But, we got to be careful at what we're looking at, on a macro level, on a bigger time frame, because a lot of this does look dangerous if they do start to break down. We got some nice price action over the past couple of days, but if it starts to break down, just like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin starts to break down or Bitcoin loses that little bear flag that we drew out, then these coins are going to start to go even lower than, where they came or where they went a couple days ago. I hope we retest, establish real support. Who cares? Mark Dutch. I like Aster. So yeah, like I missed. I think I got 2 good trades this cycle. Towards that tail end. I think it might have been September, late September or mid September. I think I got like 2 good trades. I made a couple grand off Aster, and it was just off hype. I didn't even look at, not hype the coin, but just hype like sentiment. Like, I think somebody, maybe CZ tweeted something about it, and I just put a few dollars in there, and then it just went up with a little bit of leverage, of course. I think I put 4 or 5x leverage. And then I made a few dollars, then I rinsed and repeated, did it again. And it was pretty good. So I haven't really looked at it too much, but I think the narrative of decentralized perp exchanges, I think that is the future. Like, a lot of these other exchanges, and I'm gonna tell you this, as a KOL, as an influencer, a lot of these exchanges are kind of scrambling when it comes to exchange. They're trying to give us hey, we'll give you 80% fees if you just push our exchange, do this, do that, because they see that decentralization is coming. They see the decentralized perp exchanges are coming. So they're trying to push and push and push and get us to push and push and push. So more and more people can continue to use, or more and more people can use, these exchanges, these centralized exchanges. But I think it's not going to be too many of them left when it's all said and done, because the decentralized perp exchanges are coming, and they're going to take over. And a lot of them, I think, a couple of them are starting to go on chain. A couple of them are starting to go on chain. So they better start doing something, because this technology is gonna start wiping out a lot of these centralized players. So I can tell they're kind of scurrying and trying to see what they're gonna do, especially going into 2026 and beyond. That next cycle is gonna probably be perp or decentralization or decentralized perp exchange heavy. A lot of these centralized exchanges are gonna, liquidity is gonna start drying up. So Bitcoin is coming down a little bit. We did hit that 88. Let me get a better chart. I got so many Bitcoin charts. So we did hit that $88,000 level that we talked about. And if you guys are not in the Telegram, make sure you come over to the Telegram. We put our real-time news, thoughts, analysis, trade setups, the whole nine, from the market from my point of view. Nothing paid. Just I put everything in here for free. I was trying to make a Discord, but I'm kind of I wanted it to be different. Everybody's Discord is kind of the same. The only difference is the alpha that they put in there. Some people's alpha is amazing, and that's what separates them from other people's Discords. But I'm talking about as far as aesthetics, how they have it lined up, how they have it arranged. A lot of people's Discords are the same, so I kind of want mine to be a little bit different. So I'm trying to still figure out how I want to roll it out and how I want it to be different, not just technicals, trade setups. I want a real community. I want some psychology. I want a real family oriented community in there. I don't care if it's 10 people in there, 100 people in there, 1,000 people in there. I want it to be the same no matter how many people is in there. I don't want it to just be so big and just extracting. I don't like that. That's not something that I want to do. I like Aster, miss some good price action. Yeah, it was some good price action for Aster. for sure. It was definitely some good price action. So I really just wanted to come, talk to you guys, see how everybody was doing. Bitcoin did hit that $88,000 level, like I said, came down. So we'll see what happens over the next, what we got. We got a few more hours. Let's actually look and see what's going on with the stock market, look and see what's going on with gold. Really quick, I know you guys don't care about that, but it's been kind of giving me a gauge as to what's going to happen in the market. At one point, as the stock market was going up, Bitcoin was going down. But then when the stock market started going down, Bitcoin started going down. So it's correlated to the downside. It's been correlated to the downside more so than the upside. But the futures, let's look at the futures right now. Where are we at? So the NASDAQ is up 0.53%. US 500, S&P futures are up 0.23%. The Dow is up 0.13%. So pretty flat. Pretty flat. What's gold doing? Gold is pretty flat. Down 0.4%, 0.04%. So pretty flat. Everything is probably chilling for a few hours. I think we'll get some sort of a movement going into Monday's open. And then with it being a holiday, I think a lot of people, maybe up until Tuesday, we'll probably get a lot of volatility on Tuesday. Probably calm down on Wednesday. And then, of course, I think things are closed. Possibly, well, crypto is never closed. But, the stock market and everything will be closed on Thursday. People will be chilling probably on Friday. So we probably got 3 good days of trading. And then that following week, I think it'll be, we'll start to get some real price action coming back into the market, either to the upside or to the downside. But like I said, we'll be ready for, ready for whatever. Like that's what I keep telling everybody. Like, just stay in tune to the market, stay in tune to what's going on. You never know the opportunity that could arise. You never know what could happen, man. We're going to continue to be very, very immersed into the space, even if we're not trading. If we're not, I'm gonna be making content, so I gotta know what's going on. But if I wasn't, I would still be really locked into the space. I would still be really immersed into the space because it's always opportunity. Like last bear market, what happened, or it might have been the beginning of the bull market. I can't remember when it was, but people were making a lot of money airdrop farming, and that just came out of nowhere. Like that was the thing. It was a lot of money in airdrop farming. If you wasn't into the community or into the space, you missed out on that whole thing, And then it was other things. Like the overall market wasn't going up. Bitcoin wasn't really going up, going crazy, but it was opportunities in the market. It was opportunities in crypto. So a lot of people made a whole lot of money doing these things when the market was boring. Airdrop farming and when the market was boring. That might not be your cup of tea, but it is, like I said, it's just an example of, things that you could do or just staying in the space. It's always money to be made in the space. Always money to be trading, but for the most part, it's other ways that you can make money. And it's good. This technology is evolving. That's what people fail to realize. I made a video about this the other day talking about altcoins and should you be Bitcoin only? Like it depends on how you view the market. A lot of people are just number go up, price go up, price go up. So if and you want to be safe, Bitcoin only, of course. Me personally, of course, I'm like that, but I also view the market, or I also view crypto and blockchain as a technology that I think is going to start to be in the forefront like AI. Maybe not as big as AI or in the scope of AI, but at some point, I think blockchain is going to start to, evolve, become a lot easier to use. AI used to be AI's been around for a long time, like since the 60s, but now it's just becoming user-friendly, more user-friendly. This just really happened within the last few years. So what I'm waiting on is blockchain. I know people can't even create a wallet. They don't even know how to create a wallet. They don't know how to even send transactions. It's not as easy as it looks. It's easy to us because we've been in it. But a lot of people don't know what to do. A lot of people still, I think somebody told me they thought crypto was still illegal. We're still a little bit early when it comes to, mass adoption. So blockchain as a technology, I think when that starts to come to the forefront, we'll be able to value these coins as, like stocks. Like we can value Amazon off earnings. We can value it by sales. We can value it by balance sheets, things like that. We can't really value altcoins like that. It's all speculation. But, these technologies, a lot of these technologies are very, very good technologies that haven't caught on yet that may catch on. So when the blockchain space, not just crypto, blockchain as a whole, crypto, these cryptocurrencies, some of them are just tethered to a real project with real world use, real world technology. So I'm waiting on that day. So that's another reason why I'm not leaving the space. I want to be early. I want to be like, it's going to pick, the market's going to pick winners. This is what I say this. I said this on another video. I always reiterate what I say on videos, but I like to say it live because you hear my conviction. A lot of these coins we're going to be able to value because as the market moves along, as crypto or blockchain evolves, we're going to start being able to value coins off of fundamentals, off technology, and then we can get this vaporware out. We can get these extraction coins out. A bunch of meme coins and everything will probably be gone. At one point, we were minting 2 million coins this cycle, per day. Like that's terrible. That's not you. That's going to be done. I'm pretty sure that's going to be done. Not sure it's going to be done with regulation or it's just going to be done with the free market. And like I said, with technology being adopted, blockchain technology being adopted, and then the market will start picking the winners. Like out of the .com boom, was all these companies coming out with .com. But then as the market or as technology started to go along and as the world moved along, over the years, it started to pick the winners and the other ones just went away. So you had your Amazons, your Googles, Microsoft, things like that. And those were the clear winners. And then, the other tech stocks that were just .com, they just named it .com just to, have that. Those were going. And then we have our clear winners. So I think blockchain technology, I think some of these, it might be something that hasn't even been made yet. It might be a 13 or 14-year-old dude in his mama's basement in some SpongeBob drawers, coding right now or doing something that may be the next person in line that changes the world with blockchain technology. So, of course, we want number to go up. Of course, we want to make money. We want life-changing money. This is why I'm in crypto. I would probably still be in it for the tech, But, of course, we're in it to make money. Like, we want to make money. This is why a lot of people are in stocks, too. But what I'm saying is we'll be able to value these altcoins, value these projects at some point, once the space or the technology grows and adoption grows. But it's just got to be a little bit patient. But right now, speculation is the wild, wild west, and we got to live with it, and we got to take what we can get. And like I said, some people are still heavy into altcoins. Right now, I'm not super heavy into altcoins. Sold a bunch of my stuff. I sold my Cardano. I sold my AVAX. I sold, I had like 4 Solanas. I sold those. I only hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and it was like one more that I have to look on my phone, but it was one more that I own. But mainly I didn't own. I probably own like $300 of it. It's like Seek VR. I don't even know why I still own that. But of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. That's what I'm holding right now. And then I'm going to start accumulating more Solana if we, if we start to breach that $100 level. Then I'll start to buy my Solana back. So I just sold that like yesterday because I think we're gonna go below 100, and then I'll start to accumulate heavy under 100. So that's just my 2 perspectives of the crypto market, how I view the crypto market. Of course, I want to make money. Of course, we're speculating on the prices. Of course, we're speculating on Bitcoin going to 200, 300, 400, 500,000. But I'm also looking at it as a technology, and I think being early in that aspect, not early to a price, it going from 10 cents to $10, I think that'll come. But what are the clear winners? What are the winners of the crypto market? I think the blockchain space, I think those will be determined by the technology. Those will be determined by, which winners or which projects are picked as the clear winners going into the future. And I think that will have a lot to do, or mostly all to do, with the technology and how it's adopted. So that's pretty much it, my little crypto rant. So yeah, I'm just watching Bitcoin. We'll see if Bitcoin can continue to hold that 85. So the $85,400 level is key. That was the area that we came back above. Let me see if it's still on my chart. That was the area that we came back above. Let's make this a little bit smaller. So if we lose this, then we'll be looking for that double bottom at 80,000. Let me go back up. If we lose that, let's just go back here. I got so many scrabbles. I was doing this all day. Let's see here. X that. So really this line here, this first white line here, let's draw it out for you before we get out of here. We're coming down. We lose this, I think we're coming back down. Like I said, we're all set to retest this for some sort of potentially a double bottom. And we want to hold that. We want to hold that monthly low coming in at about 80,000 and a half. Hopefully to bounce, and then retrace or, come back up to this $88,000 level, lose this. And then I think that's when our other chart that we drew out, where is it at? I think that's when, if we don't have it drawn out, then we could draw it out really quick. So this is on the 15. I'm looking at this. So you got to just be prepared for multiple scenarios. Looks like we're starting to come down a little bit. And then we had, if you did a measured move, old school TA, bringing that down. Look like we are starting to lose it. But what is that coming down? Right to our line at 75, right to our area at about 75,000. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. Who we got in the building? Holding USDC. Cameron 03. What's up, Cameron? Appreciate you stopping by, man. We can stay a little bit longer. 85,445. The MPLC might give a bounce. So, okay. So you got Mark Dutch has 84,445. So yeah, I mean, so even when it's coming down, I do look at stuff like that. Let's go back to that other chart I was looking at. Let's go to the hourly. Let's clean some of this up. So even if we come down, like let's say we did get rejected off that $88,000 level. So even as we're coming down, let's go to this chart here. Even as we're coming down, excuse all the scribble scrabble. So we can see this right here. And on a smaller time frame, it's really like you're saying it'll be a bounce. But what time frame are you looking at? You know what I mean? It's really subjective to what time frame you're looking at. So you said 84. So if we lose this 85, I think you said 80. What you say? 84,445. So coming in somewhere in this area here. So I mean, yeah, we could come down. That could be a stop, for us to potentially come back here and then keep rolling over. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at it from a perspective of losing 88K, coming back down, losing that. Like you said, we do have a lot of price action in that area here, coming back up to retest and then coming back down. Because I always look for a retest. That's pretty much how I keep it safe. Sometimes I miss trades like that, but I always look for a retest, back test. So like you said, even if we came down to your $84,400 level, I would still be looking at, if we got a bounce there, how we interact with that 85.5K level. And then ultimately, if we come back down, I'll be looking for, that double bottom at 80,000 or 80,000 and a half. Who else we got? If we can stay longer, can you do Ondo? Yeah, of course. Of course we can do Ondo. Anybody else got anything else we want to look at? Put it in the chat. Let's go over to Ondo. Because Ondo was one, excuse me, Ondo was one that I was very bullish on. So let's start from the weekly. Let's do a top-down analysis. Let's start with Ondo. So you can see I already have all my levels still drawn out. Ondo is under 50 cent, which was a key level. So let me ask you this. What are you trying to do for Ondo? Are you trying to accumulate or are you trying to trade? Because that will determine how I get my analysis. But I can give you both really quick. So number one, I feel like the real world asset space, I think that one, we talked about technology. I think the real world asset sector will be one that definitely takes off. I think that one's going to definitely take off. I think the real projects like Ondo was being accumulated by BlackRock. Anything that BlackRock has, talks about is on my radar. So that's one of the reasons I was already thinking about Ondo. But when Larry Fink started talking about Ondo, and I think they did some things with Ondo, that's when I really started to pay attention. So I like that. So me personally, what I'm looking at for Ondo, anything for me under 30 cent would be a gift. So that's why I had that. And we talked about this. I think you were on the other live stream that we did a few days ago or last week, where we talked about that October liquidation event, giving us a precursor of where the coins could go and where I would really start to buy heavy. I think that's what I'm really looking at. It's not even nothing technical that it's just like, ooh, I like these areas because these areas really bounced from areas that we were in the past. So the confluence came in right under our line. So I'm looking at something. If Bitcoin continues to roll over, Ondo's coming down. This is inevitable that Ondo's going to come down. Anything under this 30 cent area for Ondo to me is a gift. Like, I'm not sure how low it could go, but I'm looking at it as a risk to reward. Do I think if Ondo continues to go down, if Ondo, let's say Ondo gets to 20 cent or 15 cent, what's the likelihood of it going back up? What's the likelihood of it not being a dead project? I don't think it's going to be a dead project. And I literally just put a video out yesterday talking about 3 things that you can watch in the bear market to see if your coin is coming back in the bull market. Not back to all-time highs, not really price-wise, but I mean like if your coin is dead and not coming back. There's a lot of coins that are dead, not coming back. Founders sold. They're not active on social media anymore. They don't care about, they're not, they have no community anymore, really. You just have people, holders, who are, some of them are convicted and a lot of them are bag holders. But I do think Ondo is going to come back. So let's talk about it from a trading aspect. Coming down here, this is where we bounce. We don't have too much price action for Ondo, but I would love to see us bounce or come back down to that 30-cent area. I think we get a huge reaction here. I think we get some sort of reaction here. So if I'm trading, I would probably wait till we come back down here, if we come back down here, and then see a significant bounce at this 25 to 30 cent area. If we zoom in, so that's the weekly. If we start to zoom in, now we have a lot more to look at. So that's the daily. Let's actually go to the 4-hour time frame. And the point we are in the crypto cycle now is we have to just watch Bitcoin to determine which direction these coins are going to go. So if we look to our left, I mean, we can look at our wicks. We're on the 4 hours, so I'm looking at wicks. This 50 cent area. This is a key area that we're hovering around there right now. 50, 58. This one came down to about 50, 51. This one's about 55, 56. So this is a very key area. We had a wick here at about 50 cents. So if we can reclaim this 50 cent area, which is also a psychological level, if you wanted to get some sort of a day trade or, some sort of a scalp trade, this is also something that we could look at, possibly getting back above that 50 cent area. And ultimately, like I said, if Bitcoin gets back above 88, be expecting Ondo to probably go back to like 75. So from 50 cent to 75 would happen fast if Bitcoin went from like 88 to like 90 or 100. Like, I feel like this would be an easy trade. So you just got to watch Bitcoin. It's just really watching, having confluence with Bitcoin. That's a 60% move. And don't get it twisted. These moves can happen in the bear market. These moves can definitely happen in the bear market, and this is what we want to continue to watch. Wick Fine 89 is in the building. What's up, Wick? How you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Buy and gold. Oh, buy and hold. Okay, yeah, buy and hold. So yeah. So Ondo, I mean, I'm DCAing down. That's what I'm doing. I'm not buying right now, but if I was, I'm DCAing on the way down. So ultimately, like I said, that October liquidation event is something, where we came down to that 25 cent area. Anything below there is I'm going heavy. So under here, under around 30 or 25 cent, anything under 30 cent, I'm going heavy. So right now, I mean, I would accumulate depending on how much money you got. If I got $1,000, every 10 cent we go down, I'll put in, a few hundred. But I also want to stay solvent just in case it just, goes down to levels that we didn't even talk about. So just a matter of your cash flow, a matter of, I'm really not too hell bent on trying to time bottoms. I'll just split it up. I like Ondo. I think Ondo in the future is going to be over 47 cents. It's also how I will look at it. I look at it like if I have no Ondo, or let's say I bought Ondo at $1. So right now I'm underwater. I would just be buying, if it's significantly under $1, which it is right now, I will be buying to bring my cost basis down. That's really what you want to do. If you're underwater in the bear market, you want to buy underneath your purchase price to try to bring your cost basis down. If you're convicted on that coin, and if you think that coin is going to appreciate past your buy point, in the future. So long story short, I think Ondo, not financial advice. I don't know, but I think Ondo will be, is something, that will come back. And that's the key. Is your coin going to come back? I think it is. It has BlackRock cosign and different things like that. So I like Ondo for the future. That's me right now with buy and hold. So yeah, buy and hold is really like the way to go. It's really like the way to go. But learning, I keep telling people this too, learning how to trade, learning how to read the charts, learning how to analyze the carpet. Okay, I can't talk right now. I was about to say analyze the carpet. I just looked at the floor. Analyze the chart. It helps. It helps with buying. It helps with selling. and then it just helps you to see the market a little bit clearer. You don't have to be a trader. You don't have to come on here and act like you're a super TA person. That's how I started. I just looked at, well, I learned how to trade Forex in like 2018, but then I really stopped. And then when crypto came around, when I learned crypto, I was just buying, and then I started to leverage trade. I didn't even know how to read the charts really. But then I really learned towards the tail end of 2021, and then 2022, like I said, I really honed my skills when I had time. In the bear market, you got time. In the bull market, last bull market, it was just like times where I couldn't even like think straight because the market was just going too crazy, and my euphoria was just out of whack. So I didn't have time to sit and learn how to really read charts and how to trade. But in a bear market, give you a little bit more time. Market is a little bit more calmer. Once you get those initial flush outs, those initial dips, and I became a little bit unemotional about it. So that's why I feel like that's one of my superpowers in trading. A lot of people are not like that, which is why they fail. But as the market starts to come down, or those initial pushes down, and then despair comes into the market, people start giving up. Gives you a little bit of time to really hone and sharpen some of your skills. And trading is one of them that I think people can sharpen in the bear market. I want to learn and I pay, but I don't know who to pay. You don't have to pay nobody. I didn't pay nobody. I didn't pay anybody. Like, it's good. Like, the only way I would say this, I'm not against like paying somebody to teach you something. I'm definitely not. Like, me coming on the internet talking about this, and then I'm like, let's say I'll be like, yeah, I'll teach you. Like that's like a lot. We have so much bad reputations with creators and influencers, man, selling courses and doing all this other stuff. You can learn it for free. It's really just a matter of learning from somebody who is similar to you, who fits your type of psychology, your type of personality, because different strategies for different people work. So like my strategy is just like, it's very simple, but it works for me because if I don't see my trade, or if it's not my market conditions, I'm just not trading. Like, some people got to trade every day. That's not me. Like, I'd rather put more money up to trade less than put less money up to trade more, if that makes sense. So for somebody, my point being is, the only way I would pay if I got one-on-one, like one-on-one, like if you had like a real teacher or mentor, that's, you basically paying for somebody's time, not really to learn, but you're paying for somebody's time. So if you could find somebody, I don't really know too many people who just like one-on-one, you either got to pay for like an already pre-recorded course or things like that. But there's a dude, I don't know if you know who Crypto Face is. His little brother, or his brother, his name is Flopping Groper. He's a really good teacher when it comes to trading. He got something called the Leap. He's got like a leapfrog strategy, something like that. Like, he could teach you the basics, but he has like his own specific strategy. But I just, like, if you want to learn the basics, support and resistance, things like that, I'm actually going to start putting out videos like that. So that's good that you said that. I will start saying that. Wickmeister, let me see. Oh yeah, Wick Fine 89 is in the building. I want to learn how to pay. So yeah, Nick Cypher. Yeah, Nick Cypher. So he's pretty good when it comes to for trading. I'm not sure if he has like mentorships. I know he was like asking or telling people they could like call him for free on like Calendly, setting up like Calendys and like having a one-on-one. So that's what I would suggest. If you're going to learn, number one, learn support and resistance. These are the number one things that you need to start with. Support and resistance, trend lines, RSI. You can learn candlesticks, learn the basics, learn how to read the charts, things like that. Then you learn your strategy. Once you learn like the basics, the groundwork, the outline, then you can try to learn the strategy. So like I said, just learn that first. And once you read or look at the chart so much, it just becomes like second nature. Like, usually, like, let's just look at a chart. Just any chart. E-gold. I haven't looked at this in like 5 years. Like, I don't even have to look at this. I don't have to even draw nothing. Let's go to a daily time frame. Like, I don't even have to draw one line to know where I got a line up here, but let's just delete this. Like, I don't even have to draw one line to know where support and resistance is at. Like, period. Like, once you get to that point, like, that's 70% of trading. That's really 70% of trading. Then you try to figure out your psychology, figure out your personality. Then you can figure out which strategy works for you. Are you going to be a day trader, swing trader? Like, what you going to trade, how you going to trade, things like that. But it's not really And thank you, because I'm definitely interested. Yeah, I'm definitely put some videos out, and I've been locked in to making content, to be completely honest with you. So I'm gonna do that with the help of AI. Because one thing about me, like the way my brain works, I have so much up here in my brain, but then bringing it out in a simplistic manner sometimes is hard for me. So if I can write it out, outline it out step by step with the help of AI, God bless AI, then I think I can come with some great videos talking about trading. Best Discord in the crypto space. Which one are you talking about? You talking about Nick Cypher, Mark Dutch? Who you talking about? Got a good Discord. It's a couple good Discords out there. Like I like Alex O. I do like Nick's Discord. I'm not sure if that's just with the whole market. No, he has his own. I think he has his own. Who else has some good ones? A lot of people just in it to extract. You got to be careful. A lot of people teach you the things that you can learn for free. Like I'm telling you right now, just learn. Um, he's having a Black Friday sale now. So I think Mark Dutch. I think he's talking about you. Talking about Nick. Yeah, Nick. I think they are having a Black Friday sale now. Market Cipher. If he's talking about Market Cipher, so shout out to them guys, man. Those are my boys. Crypto Face and FG. You said no. Oh, Alex O. Yeah, Alex O. Yeah, Alex O. So Alex O. Yeah, he's probably gonna when it comes to and Alex O trades with Market Cipher as well. So that goes hand in hand for what I'm saying. Alex, he's a great teacher. He live streams every day. I think he's been live streaming like 2 times a day sometime. They got the Otter Gang. So make sure, Mark, if you can find if you can put his information in the chat, that'll be beautiful, man, for Cameron. But yeah, Alex is probably, and that's my guy, man. Alex is like my brother in the crypto space. Don't need Market Cipher. Yeah, you don't need Market Cipher. Alex will teach you. That's a place that I'll show you or that you should go. Alex O. He's a good one. Let's see. SEI. I can't. I'm not a mod. Okay, we'll change that. Let me see if I might could do it on my phone. Let me see. I think you might be good now, Mark. Try it now, Mark. I think you might be a mod. If I could do it from my phone, I think I did it right. So let's see. Who said SEI? So J Rock 3910. Let's go to say. I think I got that. I think I was looking at that not too long ago, a few weeks ago. Okay, there you go. So Mark Dutch put Alex O's Discord in the chat. SEI. I think I had this already. I was looking at this not too long ago. Let me go back up. Because if not, then I'll just pull it up. Yep, here it is right here. So let's see what I got. So right now, 13 cents. I had some high hopes for this one because I thought this was what I thought. This was my thought process with this coin here. So I thought Solana, because I was looking at it like a three-headed trifecta, like a three-headed monster. I was saying Solana's going to go crazy. So if Solana goes crazy, I think Sui's going to go crazy, or Sui, however you pronounce it. And then I said if those two go crazy, then I think this one is going to go crazy too. Didn't pan out. We just started creating these lower highs. And right now what I'm looking, I mean, we're basically, when was this low was we were at April lows. We're at Liberation Day lows. And then basically coming down to about 9 cents. So here we go again with that October flush out, which is giving us a precursor where it could go 7 cents. So I will be waiting for this, even if we got some sort of a pump, and I'm not trying to, say buy any, and I'll say this is where I was trying to sell. I thought we were going to break out somewhere at this area here. I wanted to break out this red line around 37 to 40 cent, around 35 to 40 cent. This was where I wanted to, buy. I was going to buy here like a nice swing trade, and I thought we was going to come, a little bit back above our highs at about $1.10. I was aiming for like $1.10, $1.20. That didn't pan out. So like I said, I'll be looking for, we got the October liquidation, or the wick that came in around 7 cents. We have this coming in around 9-10 cents. So I will be waiting, to be completely honest with you. And I feel like we can probably even go lower than this. Like, I don't even think this one, this one even did, this hasn't been out since a bear market. This has never went through a bear market, if I'm not mistaken. This is a fairly new coin. This is a fairly new coin, so it's been out since we pumped. Excuse me. So it seems like we kind of waited, or they kind of waited till the market started to pump, and then they got that initial pump in 2024, and then it's just been pretty much down only ever since. So I mean, the levels where it depends on if you think it's coming back or not. It depends on if you think it's coming back or not. If you're trying to hold long term, so I would be waiting, like I said, to take out this October liquidation wick, and then probably from here on down, if I was going to accumulate, I would accumulate. But like I said, it's all predicated on Bitcoin and that $88,000 level. Bitcoin starts breaking $88,000, we're going to get some huge pumps in altcoins. Not saying that the bull market is going to be back on, but we're going to get some huge pumps in altcoins. So yeah, we put Alex O's. Yes, Alex O, man, he's amazing. He's not only a great teacher and a great YouTuber and like a great, just an analyst, man. He's a great human, bro. That's my guy. We hung out in Vegas. Me, him, and Tradefly. It's a dude named Tradefly. He's also another analyst who's a good TA guy. So we all hung out, and Alex is my man. That's my man's man. Let's see who else we got. So yeah, Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin because I'm about to get out of here in a minute. I think my wife just walked in, so I'm gonna chill with her for a minute. So we got a nice small little pop back up to 87, almost 87,000. So we're gonna continue to watch Bitcoin. Like I said, just see what Bitcoin does. That'll dictate what altcoins do. But ultimately, on a macro sense, or in a macro sense, we're looking at this simple moving average, that 50-week simple moving average. Let's go back to this. Let's actually go to my other chart. I think it's this one. Which is coming in at 103. Yeah, this 103K level. We closed 2 weeklies below there. And if we go back in the past, this was our bull market. Our bull market of 2021. Closed 1 weekly, closed 2 weeklies, bear market. Retest of the 200 or the 50-week, super bear market. Let's go back. What was the other bear market? 2018? April, May, June. Nope. So 2017, we got our peak. Close 1, close 2, retest, super bear market. So I'm sure we can go back even more, but I'm just going to look at those last two. So had our run up, bounced off the 50-week, closed 1, closed 2, retest, super bear market. Bear market, bear market. And then we don't get back into a bull market until we break that 50-week, break it again, and retest it. So it's basically the opposite. So we have to break it and close 2 weeklies above it, and then retest it a little bit later down the line. So we're just watching that. That's all we're pretty much doing, is watching what Bitcoin is doing. And anything under 100 is noise. That's pretty much it. Anything under 100,000 right now is noise. So when a lot of people start talking, we do start bouncing, and a lot of people start talking about bull run is back on. Like I said, I seen Crypto Ran, or he was talking about we're gonna have some 2021 style dump, then back to all-time highs. Like, it was a very broad statement. Like when, give us a timeline. You know what I mean? But a lot of people are gonna start getting super bullish again. But you don't have to get super bullish unless you just look at the chart. The chart gives you all the information you need and all the answers that you need. And reclaims are the name of the game right now. So that's basically what I'm looking at for crypto, for Bitcoin. And then, like I said, we'll watch Nvidia because that's been one of my north stars for the markets, for the overall economy. We start losing, we already closed, or we were in a nice little. Let's actually zoom in. I'm watching Nvidia for sure. I'm watching Nvidia very close. We were in this range, had a nice pop off the earnings. Huge gap down on Thursday. Got a small little bounce. We closed under here. So, I mean, what I'm looking at for Nvidia, probably 160, 165. And then ultimately, who knows how far we can go down in some sort of a downturn, in sort of a recessionary environment, in sort of some bear market. But I'm watching Nvidia. That's another telltale sign of the overall markets. And once the economy, once the market, or once the stock market, or if, not saying once, because it could just turn around and go to all-time highs. If the stock market starts to really turn over, like, that will be the coffin. like for the economy, for everything. Like this is the only thing that's kind of like giving us hope or giving people hope or for the powers that be to say that we're doing okay. You know, if the stock market starts to roll over, then all hell is going to break loose. So I don't think it's just going to roll over that easy, but I do think we will get some sort of a drawdown. How far down we're going to go? I think the stock market has to go down like what, 20% in order to be in a bear market. So where are we at right now? So our peak for the NASDAQ is like 26,200. So 20% down, 13, 20% from the peak for the bear market, or to be called a bear market in stocks, we would have to come to like 20,800. That would be 20%. That would be a bear market for the NASDAQ. S&P, we're at 6602 right now. So if we go from high at about 6920, 20% for the S&P, which is a technical bear market, will come in about around 5,500, 5,550 for the S&P. So if that happens, so that's 20% from the top. So let's see where we're at right now. What did I say? So from where I'm at right now, we would have to drop where we're at right now. We would have to drop another, let's say another 16%. So another 16% drop in stocks, in the stock market, in the S&P. How far down you think crypto is going to go? How far down you think Bitcoin is going to go? So right now, let's just say it went down double. So 15%, if the S&P has another 15% down to go, let's see how far. So let's say crypto went down another 30%. 60,000, 60K. And I'm just spitballing. I'm just saying it'll go down double. And it might not go down double. It might go down less than that. But I'm just going off, I'm just going by double. 60,000, which is another confluence area that I've been looking at. I've never done this. But another area that we've been looking at. We've been looking at this $60,000 to $70,000 area, which acted as a huge range all the way from March, the beginning of March 2024, basically to October 2024. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, for 8 months, we was basically in that range. So the bottom of the crypto market is going to be somewhere where we spent a lot of time, or somewhere where it's a key area. Might be 70K, might be 80K. We might already touched it. Might be 60K here. Like, what's another area? It might be 50K. Like, it's not just going to be some random number. It's going to be something or some area that we've been retesting and playing with in the past. You know what I mean? Going to be one of those areas. I don't think we're going to go down to like 30. I know some people say 40. One of my guys says 44, this area here, which acted as major support and resistance level back in 2022. Then again, back in the end of 2023 to 2024, then we got that breakout. So it's going to be one of these areas, one of these major areas, one of these major support and resistance areas. That's where our bottom is going to be. So we'll continue to watch it, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready. Another 17%. Yeah. Maybe Band-Aid. What's up, Maybe Band-Aid? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by, man. We wrapping it up now. We just wanted to get in before this weekly close, see what was Bitcoin going to do. Like I said, this is the second week we closed below that 50 week. So that has, in the past, closed the coffin on a bull run. So we can kind of call it a bear market right now. But don't put a time limit on the bear market. Just because I'm saying it's a bear market, we're not going to put a time limit on the bear market. Somebody hears bear market, they think, oh, God, we're about to just go down for a year. Bear market don't even work like that. A bear market is like pretty much sideways. It'll be sideways, then we'll just have another drop. Then we'll have a pump. Then it'll go sideways for a long time, then another drop. Then it's just sideways, and it just be down and sideways. Then it starts to recover. Nobody believes it. Starts to recover, then bull market. That's how it really goes. It's just not every day down. That's what people think for a year. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. What time do you regularly go live? So on Sundays, I'm trying to go live 30 minutes before market or weekly close. So I'm Eastern time. I'm in Michigan. So 6:30 Eastern time is when I go live on Saturday or Sundays. Usually try to go live for at least 30 minutes going into the weekly close today. I think we're going a little bit above. Well, how long I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. During the week, it's just sporadic. It's just some days I'll be doing nothing and I just go live. You know what I mean? So I don't really want to have a huge schedule. Sunday I have a schedule. I'm thinking 6 to 6:45 I'm gonna go live. But if I have like a schedule right now, I really don't want a schedule. That's like having a job, to be completely honest with you. And I don't want to have a schedule like that. Not yet. I think we're gonna get there. I think I'll probably work a lot better if I had some sort of schedule. But right now, just Sunday is really what I want to do. I want to do Saturday mornings because I don't think too many people. I gotta compete with too many people. There's too many big creators that's live streaming throughout the day. In the morning, it's super hard. It's super hard, especially during the week. I think Alex O comes on at like 8 to like 10. Then my guy Piper comes on at 10. And you got Investing Bros come on at like 10, 10:30, and they also come on at like 3. Who else? My guy Bill Noble. He live streams in the mornings, maybe like 8, 6, 7, 8, something like that. It's a lot of people. George, Cryptos R Us, he live streams at night, like around 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I will have to try to get in, somewhere where I can get more visibility, if I'm gonna do it. But it really don't matter to me as long as I got the core audience, everybody coming in. You guys showing up, we can talk about it and we can continue to move. Cheers, all 2 a.m. bedtime. Mark, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Have a good night. And thank you for stopping by. Good stream, FD crushing it. All set. Appreciate it. We got to get these lives going every Sunday for sure. I'll be here every Sunday for sure. But like I said, we'll continue to watch Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin wants to do. Altcoins getting a small little bounce. They did get a small little bounce, but the week has started over. So, some of them are in the red. But we'll wait till Monday open. See what Monday open wants to do. But like I said, this week, I don't think we're going to get too much volatility. This is I think Thanksgiving is on Thursday, and then Black Friday, I don't think we're going to get too much volatility. So I think Tuesday and Wednesday will be the good days that we're going to trade. I don't like to, excuse me, I don't really like to live stream trading either. Like, I like to be like super locked in when I trade, you know what I mean? Because I'll be really like focused. So trying to perform and do all that. But I would do that, on with a smaller scale, on a smaller, with some smaller money. I like to trade bigger money, because I don't want to trade a lot. So I might trade, 2 or 3 times a week, but with bigger amounts as opposed to smaller amounts and trading, a bunch of times to make the same amount. So FD giving the people what they want. I think, is that my wife? I think she's like right here in the thing. Shout out to my wife, Nikki B7206. We're gonna have to get you a real username. You kind of look like spam. We're gonna get you a real username once I get off the chat or once I get off the stream. So I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate everybody for watching. What is that? Everybody who came a little bit late, watch the beginning of the stream if you want to see what I was talking about at the beginning. Other than that, yeah, appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I do videos every day, pretty much every day. So my videos do come out every day, but live streams will definitely be here Sunday, and then we'll try to incorporate possibly a couple more days during the week. So I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Have a good one.